This is number 15 in my video music diary, A Year of the Guitar. So we're beginning the third week here. Once again, still part of the leftover from last week's drama. I'm posting these a little early, so this is actually Tuesday morning. I'm posting for Monday. So on Monday, which was yesterday, I gave a guitar lesson to a new student who is not working on classical guitar. Most of my students are classical guitar students, but I do occasionally give lessons in other styles. And so we're working in a very different way. And so that's why I've got this guitar. This is my Taylor acoustic guitar that I used for the lesson, and that was more appropriate for the style we were working on. So I thought that since that's something that I've done that's different, for this entry I decided to use this guitar for that and kind of go over some of the things we worked on. So one of the things we did is a technical exercise that I feel is real important. It's a good way of developing the coordination between the left hand and the right hand, and it's similar to things I do on the classical guitar. And it's just a basic chromatic scale, working with first, second, third, fourth fingers, then moving up one position and repeating it, and doing this slowly and evenly with strict alternate picking on the right hand, down, up, down, up. Now I'm going to pause there just to talk about my pick grip a little bit. My pick grip that I use is between the thumb and the side of the index finger, with the index finger curled, so that I can make a small fist, a gentle fist, and then put it against the side of the finger, put the thumb there, and play like that. This gives you a lot of control over the pick. And I'm heading back. And my advice on doing this is always begin slow. Good slow movements. Then you can repeat it on every string. Never playing faster than you can control. Always making sure that the right hand and the left hand are simultaneous. You'll also notice that as I'm going up and down, I'm using the ordering of the fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I come back down again, it's still 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a whole different exercise. So that was one exercise that we worked on a little bit. The other thing that I suggested for this particular student, and again I would suggest for anybody working on the guitar, is learn the keys. So the key of C major, we began with a first position C major scale, right? And again alternate picking on the right hand. Then I also would typically take a student like this and then do the same thing, a C major scale up in 8th position, 7th position rather, starting on the 8th fret with the second finger, in 7th position. And work that. There are different fingerings you can use, but those are good starts. Then making sure you can play the chords in the key, and make sure that you understand the Roman numerals of the chords in each key. So this is, this is a C chord in first position, meaning it's a 1 chord. Then we have a 2 chord, which is D minor, and then a 3 chord E minor, 4 chord F, 5 5 chord G, and I use the G7 actually for the 5 chord, and then the 6 chord A minor, and making sure that you can play those chords clearly, move from one to the other well. Finally, something that I work on is doing a 2-5-1 standard jazz progression within the key. The 2-5-1, in each case I use a 7th, so it's a 2 as a minor 7, then the 5 as a regular dominant 7 chord, and then the 1 as a major 7. So here, the 2 chord, the most basic approach to it is using the root position 2, and there's the 5. So this 2 chord is a D minor 7 on the 10th fret with the 2nd finger, and then the 3rd finger barring the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, all in the 10th fret. And that 2 then moving to the 5, which is a G7. Okay, and that G7 here is essentially a similar form to the first position C major, except instead of having the 3rd finger on the 5th string, you put it up on the 6th string so that you get the 5th of the chord, and then getting the 7th in here with the 4th finger on the 10th fret of the 3rd string. So there's the 7th of the chord, and then finally moving to the 1 chord, C major 7, where your 1st finger is here on the 8th fret, 2nd finger, 2nd string, 8th fret, and then the 4th finger on the 3rd string, 9th, 3rd finger on the 4th string, 9th. And so your progression. And making sure that you're muting any open strings, so that way it becomes a movable progression. You can actually use this in any key. So I could go, for example, to the key of G and do the same chord shapes in a different position. So that's my entry for today, and to be continued tomorrow.